Let's talk music theory. There are two kinds of scales, a major and a minor scale. Each scale is built upon 7 unique notes. Each note correlates to its own unique chord. Each chord has its own unique feel and sound. Some chords want to resolve to other chords. This is because in every scale there's a unique harmony called a tritone. A tritone is a harmony of 2 notes 6 semitones away. In the major scale, this naturally occurs in the 7th and 4th scale degree. The 7th scale degree wants to resolve to the 1st scale degree, otherwise known as our root note. These 2 notes are a semitone apart. Likewise, the 4th scale degree wants to resolve to the note 1 semitone away, the 3rd scale degree. In the minor scale, this naturally occurs between the 2nd and 6th scale degree. The 2nd scale degree wants to resolve to the 3rd scale degree, and the 5th to the 6th. This allows us to create chords that have tension and release. With this knowledge, we can understand how cadences work. Cadences are chord progressions that end musical phrases. For example, we have our plagal cadence. A plagal cadence is when a 4-chord resolves to a 1 chord. In major, that'll sound like this, and in minor, it sounds like this. This is the foundation of Lucrio's beat. The next cadence that's important to understand is the perfect cadence. The perfect cadence is when a 5 or a 7 chord resolves back to our tonic 1 chord. This is considered to be the strongest cadence because of the tritone harmony wanting to resolve to the tonic 1 chord. The perfect cadence and the plagal cadence are the 2 most common cadences used in modern Western music. They both sound satisfying because the 4 and the 5 are both a fifth away from the tonic. Chords naturally feel resolved when they move in motions of fifths. This is the base of one of the most common jazz chord progressions, the 2-5-1. Take a listen to these chords moving in motions of fifths. Now that you have an understanding of how harmonic resolution works, let's analyze it in Lucrio's beat. To start, let's take a listen to the first chord progression. The foundation of the first chord progression is the 1 chord and the 4 chord. In between the 1 and the 4 chord, Lucrio decides to flatten the 7th scale degree. This creates a tritone harmony that naturally occurs when the 4 chord is the tonic. The flat 7th scale degree wants to resolve down to the 6th scale degree, and the 3rd scale degree wants to resolve up to the 4th. This creates more tension leading up to our 4 chord. You can think of it as a perfect cadence towards the 4 chord. Moving on, in order to create tension between the 4 chord and the 1 chord, Lucrio decides to change the 4 chord from major to minor. This creates a minor plagal cadence, a popular cadence utilized by artists like Bruno Mars or Radiohead.
Now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man.
Just like an angel, your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather.
This cadence resolves so nicely because we borrow our 4 chord from the minor scale. In the minor scale, our tritone lies between the 2nd and 6th scale degree. And with the way Lucrio voices the minor 4 chord, it includes both the 2nd and the 6th scale degree. This creates a nice resolution to the major 3rd and 5th scale degree. Now that we've gone over the harmonics of the first part of the beat, let's take another listen.
Guess who's gonna jam? Guess who's gonna jam? Guess who's gonna jam? Guess who's gonna jam? Guess who's gonna jam?
The next thing to explain is the beat change. Let's take a quick listen to the harmonics of the beat change by themselves. In order to understand the harmonics of the beat change, we need to understand one more cadence, the deceptive cadence. The deceptive cadence is the same as a perfect cadence, but instead of resolving the 5 chord to a 1 chord, we resolve the 5 chord to a 6 chord as a way of faking out the listener. So how can we use the deceptive cadence to our advantage when transitioning into a minor key? What Lucrio does here is he sets up expectations for the minor 4 to resolve to the major 1. But instead of resolving to the major 1, Lucrio treats the minor 4 as if it were a 2 chord. By setting it up as a 2 chord, he creates a 2-5-1 chord progression. But instead of resolving to the relative 1 chord, he resolves to the relative 6, deceiving you. This minor 6 chord establishes our new key in the parallel minor. Because of the 2-5-6 chord progression, the change from the major to the minor key doesn't sound as jarring. Let's give the beat change another listen. Now that we're we're on the minor key, it's time to establish one last chord progression. These chords are simple but have added embellishments to make it more colorful. The first chord is the minor 1 chord, which is built of the 1st, 3rd, and 5th scale degree, but also adds the 7th and 2nd scale degree for extra color. The second chord is the minor 4 chord, which is built of the 4th, 6th, and 1st scale degree, but also adds the 3rd, 5th, and 7th. These colors were not added randomly. Lucrio wanted to have tension between the two chords, but not have one create tension and the other resolve it. Instead, he wants to have equal tension between the two chords. To create tension, Lucrio adds the 2nd scale degree to the minor 1 chord, which resolves to the 3rd scale degree in the minor 4 chord. Likewise, the 6th scale degree in the minor 4 chord wants to resolve to the 5th scale degree in the minor 1. This creates an equilibrium of tension between the two chords, making it want to go somewhere but not feel unresolved. With an understanding of everything we just discussed, let's give the beat one last whole listen.
This is gonna turn on. This is gonna turn on. This is gonna turn on. This is gonna turn on.
Guess who's gonna jam? Guess who's gonna jam? Guess who's gonna jam? Guess who's gonna jam? Guess who's gonna Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police.
Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something today. If you like this content, make sure to check out Lucrio's last beat battle breakdown. If you have a question, leave it in the comments below. Considering his lackluster following, he'll probably get to it. My name is Penguin. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a nice day.